You've most probably heard me and many marketers out there talk about content banks and why it's vitally important to have a content bank for your business. Now, content banks are a great tool when it comes to marketing, but if you don't know what they are and you don't know why they're important, then they can mean nothing to you. And that's what we're going to cover in this video. So a content library or content bank is all about having a knowledge bank full of content that you can either load to your social media schedulers, that you can share when you're asked questions inside Facebook group. And it's all about taking that knowledge out of your head and having it into an organized library or bank full of categories. And the reason that we want to do that when we're business owners and we're marketing, when we get busy, we forget to market or we forget the knowledge or the great tips that we have. So creating a content bank is that first start in the journey. Now, a content bank is made up of a number of things. It'll include videos, it'll include blog posts, it'll include podcast episodes if you're doing it. It will include even the lead magnets and the resources that you have, but it'll also include text-based tips, short form video, and little bits of knowledge and how-to that you can share with your audience that helps them understand that you are an expert, you're a thought leader within your field, your product or service is amazing, and they're able to connect with you. So as we start to build out our content bank, we start to think about the things that people are asking us questions about so that we can start to build like that question bank. You know, the answers to the questions is one of those components we'll build in our content bank. We think about the educational resources out there, the blogs that we might have written, the presentations that we've done, they all become part of our content bank. So now we've covered a little bit about what goes into a content bank. Why is it important to have one? It's important to have a content bank, for the fact that if you've got it in a bank and a spreadsheet, or we're using formulas like the Master Doc formula here that we teach at Reed-Enever Group with our clients, that you've got a resource that you're able to search quickly and easily if a topic pops up on a Facebook group, if it happens to pop out there in the world, or someone asks you for a resource and you're able to go, oh, here's something I wrote, or here's a blog post that I wrote earlier. The content bank also on our website helps us with SEO. It helps us build credibility. And it also means that people can then start to read and start to engage and listen to those podcasts and watch those videos that you've all got embedded on your website to be able to create that know, like, and trust factor from you along the way. And that is huge when it comes to the world of marketing. So we want to make sure that we're depositing into our content bank regularly. The other thing that's important about having a content bank is it gives us posts at our fingertips that we can refer through to other people. And if we've created on-brand images that go with it, it just makes us look a little bit smarter and swisher inside Facebook groups and other communities when we put that content out there. And my favorite reason about having a content bank is it makes us efficient. It gives us a resource library that we can tap into at any time. It gives our staff and our people a resource library to be able to share those blog posts. And it's also meaning that we can train things like chatbots and those sorts of things on the amazing resources that we have when people come to our website. So the why behind a resource library is it creates trust, it helps us build retention, and it allows people to find the pieces of information and quite often the answers to the questions that will help them want to work with us down the future. So the next thing when we're creating a content library and a content bank is we need to organize it, because there is no point in having content all over the place and go, it gets overwhelming and no one's going to look at it. So we want our content bank to be usable. So we want to organize it. And this is where we set up themes, we set up categories. Here at Reed-Enever Group, we use things like master documents to keep everything organized, and we make sure that we are filing them away in themes. So for example, if we look at my videos, you'll see that I will teach things to you about course creation, about marketing, about PR. So we have video categories and video folders for all of those areas. We might have self-paced stuff, we might have introductory stuff. We then bring in maybe themes and tips along the way that help us build it out within categories. So you might have a category for blogs, you might have a category for videos, you might have a category for podcasts. Then under that, you might have subcategories for each of those. And the same with tips. So if you've got different tips, you might have different categories for each one of those tips. And you start to feed them together and you mix those different content types together under those categories. So when I create my content, this is what I do. We've got some libraries. We've got the marketing with impact. We've got course creation tips. We've got PR tips. And then we've got some business with me tips. So we tend to put most of my content under one of those four categories. And then we've got our promotional stuff and we've got, courses and workshops and webinars and all of those sorts of things. But we tend to put most of my content under one of those 4 categories. So if you can put yourself together 4 to 5 categories that you build each form of content under, it's easy to organize that library. So as we go through, we optimize and we organize our content bank. We might want to create a spreadsheet that happens to link off to all those folders. I like to keep everything for a piece of content in one folder. So that's the text that we wrote for it, the video we recorded, the images that we've created, the pins, any sound grabs that we create for a podcast, it all goes into that one folder. And then we have a spreadsheet that, has a list of things from there. If you're using Google Drive, it's also really powerful to tap into Google search because we have things that are organized and optimized. And then we need to make sure that we are organizing time within our diary to make sure that we continue to deposit amazing content ideas into that bank. So we might, come together in team meetings, or we might be putting things together for the month that we continue to deposit into each one of those categories on a regular basis. And we tend to deposit each month. We tend to deposit a blog post, a video, a podcast that helps us be able to get out there. But you might just start depositing once every quarter, or that for a little while, and start depositing some new blog posts, some new tips, some new things out there to help you build your audience. So we've spoken a lot about why a content library benefits us, but how does it benefit our people, our customers, or our potential customers? By having a really well-organized content library of blog posts, ebooks, courses, all of the content that you have together, they're able to access on-demand learning. So they're able to access the information when they need it, which is really, really great. So now we've talked about organizing a content library. We've talked about what goes into a content library. Now it's all about turning those ideas into resources. Now you can use amazing tools out there to create blog posts. There's the blog post workflow in our AI Async and Automation Hub, but you can also use things like ChatGPT and Brainwork to be able to create blog posts nice and easily for you. And Claude is another one that's also worth having a look at for AI generators. Now, those AI generators aren't the complete and finished blog posts. They are the idea, the getting the message out there so that you can start to create the rest of your content. You can create a bank of Q&A type posts from the questions that people are asking you. And you can even encourage your team to be able to be writing down those questions once a week and bringing them into maybe filling those into short form videos and tips along the way that you can deposit into the bank that way. We can also look at repurposing existing content out there. For those of you who have got an amazing content bank of videos or blog posts out there already, you can take them into tools like Opus Clip and clip those long form videos into short form stuff. And also make sure when you're loading them to YouTube to have them linked through to related videos, because that helps the video reach. You can use tools like Pictory or Lumen5 to take that blog post that you've got, take the text from it and turn it into a video that you can now be sharing in other mediums. You can take key messages, the grabs out of that, and turn them into tip-based posts in Canva. There are lots of ways that you can repurpose the knowledge that you already have. And those webinars and those presentations that you've done, they can be delivered in short course formats to be able to be resourced, mainly repurposed into an ebook along the way. There is lots of content you have out there. And for those of you who have been in a big blogging journey, there's a tool out there called Designer that takes those blog posts, takes those videos, sucks them all together and starts to create an ebook outline that you can refine and edit to make a product available for sale or a resource available for download that allows you to be creating a good solid lead magnet. So there are lots of ways that you can turn that knowledge and those resources you already have into ideas and deposit them into that content bank. So now we've covered what it is, what do we want to put in there, some ideas about how we can put things in there. We now need to look at the benefits. Why would you even want to do this? The benefits for you and your audience. So the benefits for you is the content bank is organized, it's easy to find, it allows you to be able to your staff to be able to access it, it allows other people to be able to access it, and it also creates good SEO juice on your website. It helps you build an audience and it helps you build your authority within your field by making sure you have well-organized, well-structured and delivered content out to your people on a regular basis. For your audience, it means that they've got answers to their questions on demand. It means that the content library that is well organized, they can find their way around and they can start that journey and that seed of interest of climbing up the marketing tree with you and beginning to engage with the content that's out there. It might be that lead magnet, it might be that blog post, or it could possibly even be a course that leads them on the way to being able to buy you as a coach or, further discover how your products and service operates along the way. So by allowing them to have that self-paced, that access to information when they want them, you are already creating that know, like, and trust factor. And the other thing about a content bank is it allows us to be able to create customer loyalty. We've got another resource, another thing that's really handy for people so they know to keep coming back to our website or opening our newsletter on a regular basis to see what that new tip is. What have they added to the content bank? What have they learned that I don't have to learn? What are they going to explain to me that's amazing that allows them to keep coming back? And because they say subscribe to our newsletter or they subscribe to our social updates, they continue to remember that we are there. And the next time they need our product or our service, they're engaging with us. So we looked at the importance of a content bank. We've looked at why you should have one within your business. And now it's time to go out there and start developing one. So first of all, go and have a look at those blog posts, those videos, the existing stuff you've already got out there, and start to organize them maybe into a spreadsheet. Make sure we've made the most of them. Create those social posts to go with it. If you need workflows that are going to help you, the AI Async and Automation Hub has all of those in there. Go and have a look at the videos you've got out there and maybe see if you can chop them up. Look at the questions your people are asking you and then add them to your content bank, because those questions your people are asking you are questions from your ideal customer, your engaged customer, and chances are people are typing them into search, and we want to be appearing for those questions as well. After you've done that, start looking at identifying the gaps in your content library. Could we maybe add some more video? Could we possibly transfer video into podcasts? What can we possibly do to make sure that we are reaching our audiences in more places? Because by continuing to expand and develop that content bank, we are continuing to reach new people and new followers and engagers when people are coming along the way. How do we then combine that content bank into a newsletter? And one of the things that we do in the marketing planner is we focus on having a theme and making sure that we can then bring that together in the newsletter for the next month. So we talk about having our theme, we talk about theme, whatever it is, creating content, blogs, podcast webinars, lead magnets around those themes, and then making sure that we deliver that through in our newsletter in the next month. And we're writing something for our people that keeps them subscribed to our newsletter. And by following that theme structure, we are then consistently delivering in our content bank on a regular basis, but we're also focused on the content that we are creating and making sure that we are covering all the bases with that theme. And then we need to make time for creating our content bank. So set some time in your diary dedicated to creating content. It could be that you choose to film video one day a month or a half day a month. It could be that you choose to write blogs maybe once a month. It could be that you choose to create podcasts once a month or once a quarter. But by carving out that time and making time for creating content, we're not only consistently depositing into our content bank, we're making sure that we are consistent and relevant for our audience. So there you go. There's a little bit of information about creating a content bank. Take it one step at a time. Keep depositing. Even small deposits of 2 to 3 pieces of content a month are better than no deposits at all. And make sure that you keep it organized so that you can find the content and share it with your audience when they need it. Until next time, my name is Linda Reed-Enever. I'm an ideas and marketing strategist, and I help you create impact with your brand. I look forward to sharing more tips with you soon.